What changes in a leadership group when a person leaves the group or one or more people are added to the group? What happens between old elders and new elders? What changes in the elder-preacher relationship? In this episode, I share what I've done since 1988 to develop a new relationship with a new eldership.
Welcome to Gleaning Mustard Seeds with Jerrie Barber. Mr. Barber is a preacher, a ventriloquist, a barefoot runner, and writes 2 blogs. When Jerrie communicates, he encourages people, try not to learn very much. Find a mustard seed. In the next few minutes, try not to learn very much. Look for something you can do to move a mountain, remove a stumbling block, or provide a stepping stone for yourself or someone else. And now, here's Jerrie with this week's mustard seed.
When new elders are appointed, I've been resigning since 1988. I've been in Dalton, Georgia for 11 years. I was looking for another place to preach. I talked with 16 congregations. 8 of the 16 churches had released their preachers. In each of the 8 congregations where the preacher was released, they had appointed new elders within 2 years or less. I thought about that. That's not the first time I've heard of that. Sometimes the older elders have considered it. When new shepherds come on board, the seasoned overseers communicate their burden with the new men. Brethren, we want to share something that's heavy on our hearts. This church isn't growing as it should be. We've been thinking for some time that a change of preachers may be just what this church needs to get going again. What do y'all think? Generally, the newly ordained bishops are apprehensive about their responsibilities and reply, "Brethren, you certainly know better than we do. We'll cooperate with whatever you think." One of the entering twists of this discussion was when one of the brothers who introduced the topic continued, "Well then, we'll write a letter. We'll all sign it. We'll let one of the new men read it at the church Sunday because you read better than we do." I talked to the man who read the letter on more than one occasion about his learning experience. Many of the preacher's friends forgot who signed the letter, but everyone remembered who read it, and they weren't happy. His discussion was accompanied by tears each time he retold his story. Another situation is that new elders may come up with an agenda that a preacher needs to change. Often, there's nonverbal communication at first. The elders begin to exclude the preacher from their meetings. There's a salary reduction, or no raise, or a smaller raise than in the past. New requirements, including keeping a log of all activity, new items on the job description, and a more negative evaluation than the past are instituted. When these changes come to a seasoned, astute minister, he sees the handwriting on the wall and hears the Lord calling him to a different work. That process often takes about 2 years of misery to complete its cycle. During my move in 1988, I was enjoying my first computer. I decided to take notes and record observation. My mustard seed from this process was a decision to resign each time one or more elders were added in the congregation where I was preaching. That opportunity came in 1995. On Father's Day, 2 of the 3 elders resigned where I was at that time. We were without an eldership. We appointed 4 new elders on November 19. None of them had ever served before. On the Wednesday night before they were ordained on Sunday, I said to them, "I appreciate your willingness to accept leadership of the church at this critical time. One of the first decisions I would like you to make is who is going to be the preacher for this church. I'm resigning. It wouldn't be right to impose myself on you. None of you were elders when I came. Different elderships have different ideas of who and what a preacher should be. I'll bring you a letter of resignation. I'd like to apply to be the next preacher for Bears Chapel. I love the church and like the people. but you have my resignation. It was my idea, not yours. If you think you'll want to change preachers in 2 or 3 years but don't want to upset the people now, let's do it now. They're already upset. Please let me know what you decide." Not long after they were appointed, we met and they asked me to be the preacher for Bears Chapel. We discussed my job description, contract, and our relationship. We recorded our agreements, signed them, and distributed copies to each person in the group. 3 years later, another elder was added to the group. I resigned again. A few years later, we added 3 more elders. At the first leadership meeting with the new elder, someone said, "This is Jerry's night to resign." He was correct. I meant what I said in each resignation. During one of my interims, a new elder was added. At the next meeting of the elders and preachers, I turned in my written resignation along with a request to finish the interim. They asked me to stay. The new group of elders and I discussed our relationship and how we'd work with each other. In every situation, I would have cooperated in every way if they wanted to change preachers. If that's the wisdom of the elders, there's no point in aggravating each other for 2 years, ending in anger and frustration. There's a new relationship each time the group changes. We can acknowledge it, discuss it, and consider how we can or cannot work together and proceed according to the wisdom God gives us from those prayers and discussions. Or we can silently observe the group changing 3 or 4 times over several years, assuming everything remains the same because I have a contract with a group of men who are no longer here and wonder what happened. Here's the substance of the resignation letter. Brethren, since we have a new eldership, I submit my resignation as the interim preacher for this congregation. This is a different eldership from the one that selected me a year ago. I think each eldership should select a preacher who works best with them. Should you choose to accept this resignation, I will cooperate with you in every way. This is my idea. I'd like to apply for the position of interim minister working with the new eldership. Gail and I have enjoyed our time here. We've learned to love and appreciate you. Please let me know what you decide. I will cooperate either way. The general rule is that family rules are unconscious, unspoken, understood, and contradictory. I think it's better to think about our rules and relationships, discuss them, and know what to expect of each other. Exploring and working out the contradictions reduces stress. My choice to encourage that discussion has been to resign as the preacher, apply for the new relationship, and respect the choice of the eldership. Any time an elder resigns or one new elder or more is appointed, you have a new eldership. There will be a different understanding of the role and relationship between elders and the preacher. You can either discuss it or ignore it. You can either record your understanding or hope that everyone remembers. When you choose to ignore it and think everything will be fine, it will be fine until it isn't. The general rule is not everyone will remember the agreements. Some won't even remember being present in the discussion, and not everything will be fine.
Thank you for listening to Gleaning Mustard Seeds with Jerrie Barber. If you found a mustard seed, send a text or email with a link to a friend. This podcast was brought to you by Braden Parsons Photography. From family photos to landscape photography and everything in between, Braden uses his passion for capturing meaningful moments to create art and embody memories that will be cherished for a lifetime. Whether you want photos for your family, an event, or even want to browse Braden's portfolio for prints you can buy as art for your home or office, go to bradenparsons.com to explore the creativity and inspiration that comes from Braden Parsons Photography. You can also contact Braden directly at bradencparsons@gmail.com to discuss how to turn your photography needs into your most adored keepsakes. There are links in the show notes to connect with Braden. Thank you for listening. Jerry looks forward to next week as we continue to collect and plant mustard seeds.